So the Tyranids have their new Codex cover revealed and their new combat patrol announced. Looks like it's a good time for Nids, particularly if you want to be fielding a massive horde of Gaunts. Hello and welcome back to Warspets Tactics, where today we're talking Tyranids, and specifically Games Workshop's announcements today of the new Combat Patrol and Codex that are coming out. We've known that the Tyranid Codex was going to be next for quite a while now, and now Games Workshop have released the first wave of Eldar and one of their Kill Team releases. It looks like the bugs are going to be taking centre stage. Apparently we're going to be getting some new rules previews and things, and Games Workshop have decided to preemptively show off their Codex cover and Combat Patrol set, hopefully implying that they're not going to be too far away. Let's take a look at the Codex and the book announcement first, and then move on to the Combat Patrol set. So here we have the new cover art for the 9th edition Codex Tyranids, perhaps a bit more of an artistic, less gritty style for this one. A great big hive tyrant having a good scream while charging in alongside a whole bunch of gaunts and things. I quite like the look of the colour palette and everything, nice contrast between the greens and the purples and things, though I think I still probably prefer the current Codex art over this one slightly, the one with the Tyranid warrior on it. Apparently there's still no firm release date on when this Codex is going to be coming out. I'm going to imagine in the fairly near future though. I'd maybe guess 2 or 3 weeks after the current pre-order things go up for sale. That seems to be a similar sort of gap for when they announce a book to when they come out. Apparently we'll be getting some previews of new rules and things on Warhammer Community, as is their standard. They've confirmed a few things that are in the book, including synaptic links that were already rumoured to be coming back, and I'm sure it'll have all the goodies that we know and expect in a 9th edition Codex. Exciting upgraded stat lines, a bunch of Crusade rules for the faction, some more thought out Warlord traits, relics, and Hive Fleet adaptations, though it is going to be interesting to see how much of a power boost it gives the Tyranids right now. At the moment, in their top army list, they are one of the strongest factions in the game, though admittedly I'd say they're a codex without a lot of internal balance. A lot of their datasheets really are quite rubbish or underwhelming. I do feel though that if Games Workshop don't go back and do a bit of editing to their Leviathan and Crusher Stampede supplements, I have a feeling that if the Tyranids Codex gets a fairly decent power boost like is normal for 9th edition books, this could be again one of the strongest factions in the game. All speculation of course at the moment, but I feel in general a shiny new 9th edition Codex is very unlikely to be any sort of bad news for Tyranids on the tabletop. Moving on though, let's talk about this new Combat Patrol Tyranids. Really quite a chunky looking box, at least from the artwork it does appear that it's a bit fatter than the normal Combat Patrol boxes. I don't know if that might just be the perspective that the photo was taken at though. The new Combat Patrol box pricing is £90, €120 or $150. A little bit worse value than the previous ones were before. All of Warhammer has gone up by a little bit of money recently due to those price rises. In terms of release dates, there's nothing really too solid from Games Workshop at the moment. It could be a fair while off at the moment. In the article they did say that Eldar, Grey Knights and Thousand Suns will all be getting their boxes first. Games Workshop does seem to have a bit of an unhelpful habit of releasing the Combat Patrol boxes far after the Codex release at the moment, so unfortunately it could be quite a wait for the Tyranids to get their claws on this. In any case, in terms of miniatures, it really is quite a different set to the previous one. The previous Combat Patrol was a Trigon, a bunch of Gene Stealers and a Broodlord, and to be honest it did feel like a bit of a weird start collecting box, all kind of useful fun miniatures. But in terms of the box, the Trigon just massively dominated it. It basically seemed like buy a Trigon and get these Gene Stealers for a bit cheaper. This one's a very different feel indeed, and very hoardy. Leading the box as a Hive Tyrant, a great choice I think, basically the heart of the swarm there. Good to have the faction's most iconic HQ in their generic Combat Patrol box, and you can also build him as either a Hive Tyrant with wings or a Swarm Lord, both of which really do give you a very different flavour compared with the standard Hive Tyrant, so I think that that's a great choice to be including there. Then we've got Tyranid Warriors, a unit of 3 of them, again very much an iconic Tyranid unit, adding a bit of synapse to the advance, and if rumours are to be believed they're going to be a fair bit beefier in the new Codex, going up to Strength and Toughness 5, as to be honest I think befits such big models. Really though, and kind of dominating the box this time round, are a massive amount of Termagants. You basically get 3 copies of the standard Termagant kit, 36 Gaunts in total, along with 3 Ripper Swarms as extra. Basically this feels like the box that you want to get if you just want to drown the enemy in waves of chitinous bodies. Certainly one style of playing Tyranids, though maybe one that's going to really appeal to some people, but not necessarily to everyone. In general though, I do prefer the feel of this one to the last one. The Hive Tyrants and Tyranid Warriors are some of the most iconic units in the faction, and a massive horde of Gaunts to surge forward with really doesn't feel like the worst thing for any Tyranid army to have. If you did want to field a truly apocalyptic swarm, you could potentially get multiple copies of this. But even if you are taking a more monster-heavy Tyranid force, then a few small cheap units for objective grabbing really isn't the worst thing either. Quite nice to have a few Rippers in there as well, cheap expendable chaff, rumoured to be going to the fast attack section in the new Codex, maybe in a similar mirror to things like the Necron Scarab Swarms. Discount wise, it appears that compared with buying these all separately, you save around about 33%. Again, that seems more or less in line with Games Workshop's standard for combat patrol boxes. If you were to buy these exact kits separately, I believe that you'd be paying around about £134 or $225. So basically feels kind of similar to say get a Hive Tyrants, Tyranid Warriors and some Termagants, and then you get another couple of units of Termagants free extra. Overall, I think I am broadly positive about the box. It is very hoardy, and that might turn off some people I guess, particularly people who don't want to be slogging through painting that many Termagants. But on the other hand, you can't exactly say that it's not one of the fluffy things for Tyranids to be fielding, and you can't fault the box for being stingy with the amount of models that you get. The Termagant and to some extent the Tyranid Warrior sprues are fairly old ones admittedly, certainly do have a few mould lines and things going on. Tyranids really haven't seen all that many sprue updates in quite a while. I do feel that basic things like the Termagants and the Gene Stealers could probably do with an upgrade at some stage, though maybe it is a little bit less important for Termagants compared with others. I think the main attraction of seeing them on the board is just the mass effect of so many bugs swarming towards the enemy, and that works quite well even with relatively simplistic models like these. I think maybe being quite so hoardy though might turn off people from getting multiple copies of it, unless you really do want to be fielding a massive swarm. I think perhaps if I was going to be a tiny bit more positive about it, I think I would have wanted to see the third unit of Gaunts swapped out for something else, either a unit of Hormagaunts or Gene Stealers maybe. That would have still kept a very similar feel, but just added a bit more interest rather than loads of copies of the same unit. I think that change might have had me being a lot more unreservedly positive about it. In general though, I do feel that the rules for the Termagants in the new book really is going to decide how much people really want this one. Games Workshop teased that Flesh Borers are going to be getting a bit better. We already heard some rumours at the weekend that they might be, getting AP-1 and potentially a longer range. I'm sure at some stage Games Workshop will be showing off the new stats for the gun. It'll be interesting to see what their hail of living ammunition can achieve. So let me know what you think of the box down in the comments below. Is it a good one for the Tyranids? Is it better than the previous Stark Kleptine box with the Trigon and the Gene Stealers? And when it's out, would it be one that you're tempted to pick up? If you've enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics, where I'll certainly try and keep up with any of the Tyranid rules updates that Games Workshop comes out with. Hopefully we'll start seeing some juicy new rumours from the Codex soon. Finally, if you have been enjoying all the videos on the channel, I would just like to mention that Auspex Tactics does have a Patreon page, which you can find down in the video description below. Channel patrons do get a fair few advantages, seeing certain videos early, regular votes to see what sort of things come next on the channel, and automatic entry into the regular prize giveaways with a chance to win some really big model kits each month. If any of that sounds good to you, or you'd just like to help support, the link is down in the video description. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.